That's why I
Have
don't
they
do
ever?
gymnastics.
I,
I gave up my pommel horse a
whoa.
while
Okay,
back.
let's wait.
I
I'm
gave up
gonna
my
look down.
vault and my balance beam
I don't want
a
to
couple
look.
years back.
Oh
It's
my
not that
gosh.
funny. It's
It's
not as funny as you're
it's
making
so
it.
funny. It's so funny because you don't know
Listen,
what's in my head. It's
but
so
I have
funny.
grace and poise
Anyway.
that you have no idea about. Hey, Ange.
Hey Les, how are you?
Doing great. You're looking good, pal. We're both
Thank
doing a
you so
great thing.
much. Thank you. Oh
Not
yes. We don't
indicative
plan
of the
this stuff.
mood, though.
No, no, not at all. Not at all.
Welcome to another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn. It's back.
Brooklyn.
It's back.
It's back. I missed it so much. I'm Angela, and that's my bestie, Leslie. We are two free thinking Black women, and we invite you to join us to think deeply and act boldly. If you are an inquisitive older woman, or if you love one, or if you want to be one, please hang with us for a little bit. You'll be glad you did.
So please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you'll be notified when we post new content.
All
Okay,
right.
do it now. Do it now.
Yes, I'll
And
wait.
when you do that, it encourages YouTube to share us with others.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, listen, there's been a lot going on, and our phone's been a chatter
It
with all
has
the
been.
things.
YouTube's been a chatter. The phone's been a chatter. Twitter's been a chatter. X, I should
It's
say. No, I like Twitter
X.
better.
You know, I've been on it only a few times, and not to post anything, just to read
Scope
content.
stuff out.
Since
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. It's just territory. I'd rather not. I'd just rather not.
I hear you.
Anyway, few things we wanted to talk about today because it's going to be like a medley of current events, stuff that
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the
there's a
world.
lot going on. There's a lot. How many days has it been since Joe Biden stepped down?
Oh, I think
About,
about 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe.
can you imagine
I can't. I
the
can't.
speed at which the campaign it's
The tide of the
I can't even.
campaign has changed.
Completely,
Yeah,
completely. And
yeah.
when I'm looking at stuff, usually it's on YouTube. I now look, and if it's more than 4 days, honestly, it's
It's
like,
old
that's
news.
old news.
Oh my
That's
God.
old news.
The news
That's old.
cycles are just like spinning and
I
spinning,
know.
running to keep up.
Crazy.
I
It's
can't keep
crazy. I was watching something there, and I've also been looking at the Olympics because I don't have cable, and I've been interested because, I'm Jamaican and I love to watch track and field, but I haven't seen anything live. I've just gone on YouTube
I see.
and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? To consume content there. And so sometimes after you look at two or three things, you look and it's like, oh, that was 4 years ago. Oh, man.
You mean Usain Bolt isn't the fastest man in the world? Oh, man.
I'm like, who's this Lyles person? What is going
I know.
What is going on? So you had something that was of interest to you in the Olympics. A couple of things, actually. Which one
I
do you want
have.
to jump
Okay.
into first?
Okay.
I'm laughing, so I know which one I want to talk about.
And I'm going to make you
know
wait
what
just
I
for
wanna
that
talk
because I
about.
know what you're laughing at. So I want to talk about Jordan Chiles, the American
Okay.
gymnast who
Sure.
missed the bronze medal.
Okay.
Then under protest, under review, I should say, of
Right.
her scores, she obtained the bronze medal.
Right.
Then
So I
under
think that
further
was
review, she
yeah.
lost the bronze medal. And
Okay.
under review, it looks like she's going to retain her bronze medal.
What? When did
What
that
am I
happen?
talking about? So,
What you talking about, Les? No.
okay, take it to the videotape. So what happened was, for people who really don't know, I'll just say real quickly. When Jordan Chiles was initially scored for her, I believe it was the floor routine, she apparently was underscored because the judges did not take into account the level of difficulty and award her the amount of points. So she got an extra 0.1 point for level
Wow.
of difficulty.
Okay,
So
that's
it took her
significant.
score from, I think it was a 13.666 to a 13.766. I heard a
Okay.
commenter say, if I got that 666, that devil's number, I wouldn't have accepted it either. Don't give me that devil's number. So anyway, so when her score was increased to the 0.1 to 766, she actually bested the Romanian athlete and won the
Okay.
bronze.
Okay, got it.
Then it came out that her coaches actually put in the protest 4 seconds too late after the allotted minute of protest time.
Okay. Four
And as
seconds?
4 seconds, because there are rules. And if
I
you're
get
going to
it. I
protest
get
a
it.
score, it needs to be within a certain amount of time. And I think
I
I
get it.
agree with that.
Yeah, I
Rules are
get it.
rules
It's
for
just to me
everyone.
4 seconds.
4 seconds was too late. So
Well,
anyway,
well, I just mean, whose clock, like,
but as you know, there's an official clock for these things. But you're right. It ain't,
yeah,
perhaps my iWatch or Apple
right,
Watch.
right.
It's, or my janky Shinola. So anyway, because it was the contested score came in 4 seconds too late, Jordan Chiles did not, in fact, win the bronze because the
Okay,
protest was too late and they were going to award it, in fact, to the Romanian.
right.
Again, a commenter I heard, it was Karen Hunter said, if somebody came for my bronze medal, I don't know where it is. I can't find it. You're
Oops.
going to have to pry it from my cold, live hands. I am not returning. I just don't know where it is. Sorry. But
So I have
anyway,
a question. I have a question. So but the error was made. It's not like the error was made by the judges. There was an error made,
up,
right?
I don't know if it's called an error, but there is a time and ability to appeal and reconsider.
Yes, but it was an
So I
error.
don't know if reconsideration means I made a mistake before.
I'm telling you why it was an error. It was an error because the score had to be changed because they did not properly calculate the difficulty score of her routine. So
So
the
there was
error was
improper judging.
exactly.
I hear you. I
That was
hear
a
you.
rule too.
Okay. So let me
Okay.
put a bow
Just
on the whole
saying.
story.
Yep.
So, as a result of the 4 second delay, she actually did not win because her prior scores were reinstated.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
there's more.
Okay.
They went to the videotape
Go to the
and
videotape.
they went in and looked at when the trainers and coaches actually approached the judges. The stamp is on the video, and it was in fact within 60 seconds of scoring,
Wow. Wow.
not
I
four
got
seconds too late.
I have to ask something. With all of this scrutiny, why did it and all of these lights, camera, action, I'm wondering how the judges did not have access to something to help them to see that. I mean, how much did they investigate to actually, do
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I just,
You might be opening up a
just,
whole can of worms.
I'm just
You know,
saying.
as a what I'll say is that we don't know how much scrutiny was given to these things. I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know
big
how
deal.
much. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Jordan Chiles, the African American young lady from I don't know what state she's from, but she's American. I'm not sure how much scrutiny or detail or concern this
Yeah.
issue was given. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
going back and forth.
Right.
But the
Right.
last that I heard was that the bronze medal is retained. And
Okay.
obviously, this issue is not over. But it's
Right.
very interesting. And not
Yeah.
only does it speak to timekeeping and in gymnastics, but the whole games,
Yeah. Yeah.
to all of the scores and
Yeah.
protest times and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'll let
Yeah.
those people figure that
Do their
out.
thing. I
But
know.
she
You know,
already did a lot of media circuits, so it would be really unfortunate if she were to lose it. But
right.
also, if the Romanian won fair and square according to all of the rules and legalities, she
Right.
too should
Right.
retain a
Right.
medal if she's due it. Um,
Right.
that's why I
Have
don't
they
do
ever
gymnastics.
I
I gave up my pommel horse a
Whoa.
while
Okay,
back.
let's wait.
I
I don't
gave up
want to
my
look down.
vault and my balance beam
I don't want
a
to
couple
look.
years back.
I don't want to
I
look
didn't
down and
want
see
this
your
to
nose
happen.
grow.
I
I'm just
felt that I was going to be scored unfairly. I
Leslie.
just
I
could
was
see it. So speaking of unfair scoring,
wait. I'm just having a vision. Oh
it's
my
not that
gosh.
funny. It's
It's
not as funny as you're
it's
making
so
it.
funny. It's so funny because you don't know
Listen,
what's in my head. It's
but
so
I have
funny.
grace and poise
Anyway.
that you have no idea about. But anyway, speaking of
Okay.
scoring, have you ever seen anyone get a zero for a score in the Olympics?
Oh, see, this one almost took me out. It almost took me out. And just when I thought, just when I thought nothing more, nothing more could be said, done.
Yeah.
What on God's green earth, literally
So
green earth, because that's the color she. What on God's
so
green earth?
Australian Rachel Gunn, known affectionately to her fans as Raygun, is an Australian. I'm not even going to say, I'll say she's an Australian, but I won't say she's an Australian breakdancer.
She's a professor.
She's a professor of culture and has studied what they call breaking in the Olympics. Um,
Who no breaking the culture of
no, the
breaking
Olympic
in the Olympics.
event is not called breakdancing. It's called
Got
what's
it.
called breaking.
Got it. But
And
her research, her she's a professor of what?
I think something similar to culture
Cultural
and
studies, let's say.
she has a dance history and
Okay. Okay.
shall I say
Got it.
appropriation or leave that part out?
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
So anyway, as everybody
Yeah.
knows by now, she's the Australian Olympic contestant who entered the breaking realm, and her performance, it almost seemed like it was a joke to me, but I think she was serious
She
and
was
she got a
serious.
zero
She got a zero for every round.
for every round.
Right.
But someone told me that
She
she
was
made it to the
scoreless.
quarterfinals or something. I don't know about that. I didn't
Well,
see it live.
it's the first time that breaking was in the Olympics. So I can imagine that there were, there's still kind of growing pains around how you score and all of that stuff.
That might be so, but I watched the live breaking and I got to tell you, I think it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Here's what I'm
those
saying. I know people
athletes.
performed well. I know people performed well. What I'm saying is that in order to kind of figure out, because when you do it, you can see athleticism, you can see creativity and things like that. I'm just saying in terms of setting almost a baseline of what is, what's a zero and what's a 10. I'm just saying, I think they struggled. After a while, I stopped looking at her and I tried as much as I can to look at the audience to see how they were responding to it. But
And how were they responding? Because I didn't see it.
I couldn't really
Shock.
make it out. It had to have been. So wait, let me go back a little bit. So she not only she has done extensive research
Yeah.
on breakdancing in particular, and wrote a 300 and something page dissertation for her PhD
Yeah.
about this, right?
Yeah.
And and it is said that
I see you're
she
being very
became.
diplomatic.
I'm trying.
It is
I'm
said.
really trying.
One can say,
I'm really trying because this is a scholarly discussion. It is said that she was introduced to breakdancing by her boyfriend, now husband. So I was like, I'm holding him responsible.
yeah, but
I'm
you know
holding
what?
him
Let me just
responsible.
say a couple things. Now I'm going to okay, so she's apparently this scholar, whatever. But I have a problem with what she did for several reasons.
Yep.
One, the Olympics is, I'm not particularly a sports person, but I understand the import of the Olympics.
Right.
Olympics, it's like, why are you mucking around with the Olympics?
Right. Right.
You know? And so you have to take it with the degree of reverence that it's due for the Olympics. All right.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
to be these break dancers from the Bronx that, for years and years, this is their life and
This
this
is
is
what
what
I
they
care
do.
about.
And
Right. It's not about the Olympics. It's about this, again, Black Americans impacting culture, global culture. That this thing that we used to see all the time
I mean, just on the
on
street, walking to
on the
school
street,
and this
walking
and
in the
that, these
park,
skilled people doing
all the
these
time.
moves. So,
And now it's at the Olympics.
okay. There's a couple of things to be said about that. Should it be at the Olympics?
Well, why not? Why not?
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
I never
We all
questioned
know,
that.
we know not everything is for everybody.
I get it, but there are people who actually, and we're going to be talking about the Harlem Shake, and I'll tell that story.
Oh,
Not everything is for everybody. Yes, however, there are people in other parts of the world who are expert at break. I mean, when this
yeah,
craze,
I saw it.
when this
I
craze hit,
saw
it hit hard. It hit
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
was doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So that is where I have the problem, because all of these things now are coming into question. Should it have been there? It has risen to the ranks, let's say, of this major global sporting competition.
Skill. Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
it's incredible skill. It's incredible skill. So I don't. I think it absolutely deserves to be there, just as much as snowboarding, or just as much as other things. And skateboarding. Is skateboarding in the Olympics? I don't even remember. I don't even know. Anyway, it has risen to that level of recognition as being a sport.
An
that
athletic
requires a lot
endeavor.
of practice and blah blah blah. Exactly, right. And where you can elevate the game and all of those things. And that is where I have the biggest problem with what she did.
You mean that she was allowed into that realm?
Well,
with
not that she was allowed into
buffoonery?
it. No,
It was
no.
buffoonism.
But
It was minstrelsism.
no, but seriously, my braids are causing
Making
noise.
noises.
Anyway, my thing is, I was looking at her perspective, right? And I looked at the people who were supporting her and at her and her what she had written in response to the blowback across. And some of the things I wrote down is, she called herself the underdog. She wanted to make her mark. She wanted to move differently. This was art for her.
Was that the kangaroo thing?
She knew that she couldn't compete athletically, and so she decided to move differently and make it into a work of art. People said that she was being very courageous, and her final message was, "Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You never know where it will take you." So,
I mean, I'm all for that. Those are qualities that I appreciate.
yes, but that is why those are qualities that I too would appreciate. But that is why I got the most angry, because this ain't yours. To me, it showed a lack of respect for the craft.
I agree.
When you decide, because you can't compete on the level that it deserves, on the athletic level that it deserves, you're going to decide to make it ain't yours. It's not yours to make it whatever you want.
To change it to an artistic versus athletic versus.
Exactly.
And then, yeah. And
what makes you think it's yours?
But here's something that you've told me in many other settings. When people, before Raygun got to this
Please don't
performance, that's what she calls herself, before she got to this, before she shot to fame,
it's just
many people around her had to say, okay, yeah.
yes.
I mean, she was backed. She
Yes.
was supported. I mean, she represented Australia. So
Yes.
a lot of eyes were on her before she got to the center stage and did what she did.
Yeah, but whose eyes?
Well, that's just it. That's just it. It's the same thing that we talk about when the commercial of the people in blackface for the Gap sweater or whatever it was, the designer sweater.
Right.
There had to be a room full of eyes on these items, on these issues before they get to where they are to present themselves as buffoonery or appropriated or whatever it is.
Right. Right. And
I think there's a degree of privilege in the fact
oh my gosh,
she was allowed to do, I wouldn't even say compete, do what she did.
Do what she did. Exactly.
And then the lack of the temerity and the lack of humility to say, I'm sorry, whatever, to push back in the wrong and strong attitude. It certainly says something about her and her ilk.
Yeah, and I think it fits into the long line of wherever the outsiders who come into communities or come into an understanding of another's culture and believe that they are now of the culture because they've researched it, and now they can be the ones to extend the culture. That to me is where the privilege comes in.
And we see it. We see it a lot.
There is now.
Bo Derek and the braids.
Just
and
all over the place.
We can just go on and on and on.
Yeah. Or I mean, even stuff that we don't see, we don't see readily in academia. It's like these professors, these researchers go into these communities, and then it becomes, I'm the expert. I know more about them than the people themselves. I know how to cure them. I know how to make them civilized. I know how to.
And
it's the same idea.
that reminds me of these problems that we would incur, and it wasn't obvious. It wasn't overt when, as a medical missionary, I would go to these third world countries to provide medical care. And
Do we
truth
say
be
third world
told,
anymore? I want to be
what do we say?
politically correct. There's a more appropriate term,
Well,
but my children have corrected me on that. I don't remember.
well, let me know. I'm old. Forgive me. But anyway, I'm still saying Oriental.
No, you're not, Leslie. Please don't do that. That's not the kind of show we have.
You know how my Nana Margaret, my great grandmother, for those who don't know it, used to call, we're colored people, and anyway. But when we would go to these places, we would come in as these mostly white, not necessarily in my group, but these saviors to save these people who are who don't have medicine knowledge and who don't have the natives and their old folk ways. We are coming in with our Western sensibilities and our medicines and our equipments to heal people and what have you, when these communities have been healing themselves for years and years. So unless we collaborate and respect their cultural norms and ways, that there's not healing, not true healing going to happen. So again, we have to.
That's a good analogy.
We have to be mindful of what we're bringing to these tables.
Wow. And I want to get some comments on what you guys think of her. And just the broader ideas around appropriation. I mean, when you think of what's his name? Come on, Angela. What's his name? Elvis Presley. Who just
we could talk all about
grabbed the stuff and just ran with it. I was thinking about this the other day too. It's not that, side by side, two performers, Elvis Presley and a black person doing the original person. I can't think of any of the names right now, but if they were side by side, that the audiences wouldn't have preferred him versus her, right? But the thing is, why can't we just have a fair game? Why can't we have a fair game? Why do things have to be stolen all the time? Why? If you're that good, you shouldn't have to steal. You shouldn't have to steal. Anyway, I digress.
You're getting into a whole
I digress.
That's the next podcast. But we're out of time. We are at the end of our session.
Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about the Christians for Kamala. We'll have to do that next time.
And we will, because guess what? We Christians for Kamala are not going anywhere.
We are not.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Don't forget to press like, subscribe, and get notifications of when we post new content. We look forward to a dialogue.
Leave your comments. If you are listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, you can head on over to our YouTube channel and leave a comment on to share your perspective on what we talked about here today.
Great.
Thanks for joining.
All right. Bye. This has been another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.